We are live, I think. All right, so we're live.
I can see that now.
We're live and in traffic. We just spent, what was that, like 2 hours? 3 hours?
3 hours.
We just spent 3 hours in, what's that?
Traffic for democracy.
Oh, traffic. Yes, we're in traffic now going back. We picked the perfect time to head home. We came out because they were doing another run of ballots down here in LA County Register Recorder. And at 1 o'clock is when they started doing the run. And
Tuesdays and Fridays.
Tuesdays and Fridays is when they put out these reports, guys. So you won't expect a report tomorrow, but there will be a report out. Expected out by 5 o'clock is what we're hearing. What I can report is the official report from Secretary of State, LA County counts anyway. Will be done at 5 o'clock. But we just got an amazing tour. Can ignore that. Just got an amazing tour of the Register Recorder, the county clerk, and the vote counting process.
Where are you when I'm driving?
Got a complete tour of the mail-in ballot room, the provisional ballot room, and spoke to Cindy, whose job is to basically take any ballot that is unreadable by the machine and determine the will of the voter. So it was pretty impressive. Some of the ballots that she's received from this election, it's amazing that someone would actually think that their vote would count turning it in. It looks like kids are scribbling on it, dogs literally chewing them up, stapled ballots. And it's all up to Cindy and her team in this one section of the county registrar to look at these ballots, determine what the intent of the voter is to the extent that they can, and then do an additional ballot, a new ballot for them and put it through the system. So that's just one process in this 30-day long extravaganza of literally hundreds and hundreds of people down here working to make sure that every ballot gets counted, including all of the provisional ballots. Every provisional ballot in the state of California is supposed to be counted, gets counted, no matter what, whether it's a close election or not. And there are a lot of provisional ballots. I can report that average, they're saying they get about 80,000 provisional ballots, 240,000 provisional ballots this year so far that they brought in. All of the mail-in ballots are in. Anything that's either postmarked by the election day or dropped off are all up there and being counted. Literally, there are people that take the ballots out of every envelope, look at every envelope, compare every signature to the registration, and then take the ballot out. If it's readable, that goes into to go to the machines to be processed. Really impressive operation. And I think everybody there really is all about making sure everybody's vote gets counted. Some of the ballots that get sent in, it's just amazing how people expect their votes to be counted. And confusion, a lot of confusion with the NPP and the crossover ballots. Now the training, they swear up and down that at LA County training, people were told that if they were NPP, they were offered crossover ballots. But there were three parties that were offering crossover ballots. So I'm not sure how that can be done effectively. And they weren't doing it in Mar Vista. We witnessed several people bringing in NPP ballots, actually having the ballot and being given provisional ballots. Now, if everybody's saying that, you had to have the magic word to say, I want the crossover Democratic ballot.
They should offer it right to you.
Might be the case. But I can say that I'm pretty confident that if you did, at least in LA County, if you filled out a provisional ballot and it made it down to this office, it's getting counted. The system is basically at all the polling locations. The ballots were all sent to a central location, and then from there, escorted by sheriff down to the county register recorder, and where the ballots were to be counted. And there's literally 4 or 5 different rooms where each process along the step happens. Then the ballots, once they are either replaced or taken out of the mail-in, those are all taken into the reading room, and those are all read into the machine. The report will be out soon. I was told that they've counted about another 150,000 ballots today since Friday, because they were counting over the weekend, including Sunday. So they work Saturdays. They're there basically 10 hours, 11 hours every day during the week, and 8 hours on Friday.
And a couple ladies
on Saturday
that were there on Sunday said that there were still yet 500,000 yet to be counted. So if they did 150,000 today, from the 500,000, there's still
500,000.
There were on Sunday. She was told that there were 500,000 ballots yet to be counted.
Well, as of Friday, there were still 2.3 million ballots.
As of Sunday, in the Registrar Recorder's office,
LA County,
500,000 ballots yet to be counted still. And today we heard they counted 150,000 of those. 500,000 still yet to be counted.
Right. So that's just the LA County numbers. The three biggest counties that have unprocessed, of course, are LA County, San Diego, and Orange County. So I'll tweet that report out as soon as we get it. It should be the Dean Logan. He's going to tweet out the updated unprocessed ballot report at about 5 o'clock. He just tweeted about half an hour ago that's about when it was due. So keep an eye out for that. I will send it out. But overall, I've never watched this process before. They claim that there haven't been. It's been about the same number of voter observers this year as any other year. I find that hard to believe, but I suppose that's possible. They do have permanent benches out in front of the window of the room where they count the ballots. So there are people that come down here often to watch this process. Campaigns. There were a couple of campaigns waiting for numbers, for close races, parties waiting for numbers in close races, local races. So yeah, there's definitely people that are interested in this process. It's just, and I know if you don't know, folks, Lauren Steiner over at LA for Bernie, she has a website going now for people that want to volunteer to come and watch this process. It's still going to be going on. Everybody we spoke to expect it to continue all the way up until July 8th, which is when they have to turn in their numbers. The lavote.net, I'm told they do update the count as they do them. So in the races, so you can see the numbers change and the counties change through lavote.net, which is, of course, is a LA County website for just all things elections and voting. Tuesdays and Fridays, they will be updating that when they do the official reports, which is what we're waiting for right now. So, of course, we couldn't have any cameras in there. That's why I wasn't able to broadcast or record anything. They're pretty...
No photos allowed.
No photos, no cell phone activity.
So if you have any photos, don't post them.
Don't post them, just in case. You can't touch anything. They were very gracious. Every section had someone who walked us through the process. Cindy was great in her section. She really took a lot of time to explain how they look at the ballots and try to interpret what these crazy... I mean, a lot of them look like it's like they gave it to their 3-year-old and said, "Here, fill this out for me." And one ballot was, they had filled out the sample ballot pamphlet, but then bubbled in every bubble on the ballot. Every bubble. Everyone.
It's a lot of work.
So that's actually an invalid ballot. There's no way they could change that. A lot of folks, like, for instance, she showed us some examples of Peace and Freedom Party that wrote in, I got the wrong ballot. I want to vote for Bernie. And they will actually check. They'll actually go and look and say, oh, look, they did re-register as a Dem, and they didn't get their ballot in time. So they will put in basically a Democratic ballot for them with all of their other choices. But because that voter wrote on there and said, hey, this is my intention. One lady, basically, her ballot was literally a piece of paper. So this is my name. I had problems. This is where I live. This is what I want to vote for in this election. And so they would actually look at that note, find her address, find out what her number was, the registration number, write that on that piece of paper, fill out a ballot, and submit that for her.
Which is way more than I would have thought they would have ever done.
I would think that every time a torn ballot or something, you screw up your ballot, if it's red, they go through and mark it in blue so that it gets read in the machine. A lot of effort being taken, at least here in LA County, and our county clerks, and they increase, of course, their payroll people, employees during these times. But all the people we spoke to, it certainly looks like that they take their jobs very seriously.
Very conscientious.
Very conscientious. And if their ballots, if your provisional ballot made it to this office, it's getting counted. And as I say, probably 3 times as many provisional ballots this year, this election, than in other elections. One of the issues that came up on election day were the lists of new voters weren't making it. What do they call it? The supplemental lists weren't making it to some of the polling locations.
UCLA.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Big deal. So those folks all had to use provisional ballots if they weren't on that list that they had. So that might be one of the reasons that we saw a large number of provisional ballots. Other speculations, of course.
A lot of new voters.
New voters is primarily the excuse that they're giving for the really 3 times as many provisional ballots.
A lot of new voters.
A lot of new voters, kind of awesome. Go to lavote.net. Apparently you can go there. I haven't checked it out yet. I'm going to check it out as soon as I get home. But you can see as soon as they update the tally, when they get the report out, you'll see any changes or anything that's happened since Friday. Friday, of course, was the deadline for all of the mail-in ballots to make it. And the mail-in section, he said that they have everything that they're going to receive, they have. And that they're pretty much going into their, the last part of their job is getting all the mail-in ballots out of envelopes. We walked up and there were literally these giant laundry bins, looked like laundry bins, giant bins of voter envelopes. And we all sort of did a double take and they're like, no, those are the empty envelopes after we take the ballots out. It looked like millions of ballots were just, what happens to those ballots? Oh no, those aren't ballots. So very interesting process. If you haven't done it, if you want to come down and observe, I highly recommend you do it. If you're uncomfortable, a couple of folks we talked to that were there were uncomfortable about their ballot being counted, and they had gotten registered Dem in March, got an NP, got a crossover ballot for Dem, but not Dem. But she was an NPP before, so that may have been part of the problem. She turned in a card that requested a crossover ballot. So a lot of confusion and time delays. If you registered late on the 23rd deadline, your NPP ballot might have gone out already. So,
but either way, her vote counts for. I assume it was for Bernie Sanders. Yeah. I didn't ask her.
She turned in her crossover ballot, so it was fine. But there were a lot of people that wanted to vote for Trump and got a Democratic ballot. There were ballots that we saw that were just written Trump right across it, no bubbles, just Trump. And they're not being counted because they were Republican ballot, or they were Democratic ballots. Or an NPP ballot, but Republicans don't have crossovers. So there was a no vote, couldn't vote. So it's a really, really interesting process.
Voters beware.
Oh yeah, voters beware. Here's some new information. If you haven't voted in a federal election twice, you need to re-register.
Who knew?
Who knew? So if you've been one of those voters that has said, screw it, I'm not voting for any of these wackos, and you haven't voted in 2 federal elections, you're no longer a registered voter. So there you go. A lot of confusion with primary versus general. Yeah, you can vote. You can vote every year in a general as NPP, no problem. The candidates are there, but you're not going to get a primary ballot. So it is really voter beware. A lot of this has to do with checking the wrong button, not following up. If they do, they admit that you might get the wrong ballot in the mail. They might put the wrong ballot in the wrong envelope. And they basically are saying it's up to the voter to do due diligence and make sure you've gotten the correct ballot And if you didn't, correct it. Call them up or do something to correct the situation.
Because of that reason.
That's why I went down, because I changed my registration. They changed. I thought I changed it to Dem. Maybe I didn't. So I had to do it again. And I came down to vote in person, and they still thought I was NPP and wanted me to request a crossover ballot when I had my card that said I was actually a Dem. So there's
Even though
a lot
you're not
of,
actually a Dem.
even though I'm not a Dem. There's a lot of, as the dude would say, a lot of ins and outs, to this voting process. And we really have to take, responsibility for our democracy. They say a lot of people don't even open up their ballots or sample ballots until election day or the day of. So in times like these, folks, it's very important to make sure that our democracy is functioning. Does everybody like Chella's hair? New hair? Looks great. I love it. I got a haircut too. It's about time. So I'm going to be doing a full report on Thursday for Project Sanity on the Benjamin Dixon Network. Subscribe over there. Part of that team, Progressive Army. Thursdays, Project Sanity with Nis and Richard. So I'll be doing a full report on what I learned today and what we learned in the next couple of days. Of course, Bernie is doing a live stream on Thursday. If you haven't RSVP'd for that, that's Thursday evening. And the meeting is happening tonight with HRC, his opponent. I'd like to be a fly on that wall.
Yeah.
Considering Bernie's press conference today talking about how he wants to radically reform the Democratic Party.
Her party.
We'll see what she has to say about that.
Not even a Democrat.
Yeah. So Debbie Wasserman Schultz, we know that Bernie is calling for changing the leadership of the party DNC in that press conference, as well as waiting for the counts here in California, which we will continue to update folks on as much as we can. As reports will be coming out on Tuesdays and Fridays. Official report should be out by 5 o'clock. We're going to grab something to eat and be looking for that. As soon as I see it, I'll tweet it out. So subscribe to the channel. Go live when I can, when there's something interesting. The Board of Supervisors testimony was up there today. Some folks were streaming that over Facebook. I'm going to find some good clips of that. Everybody was testifying about their experience. So hope you check that out. I'm going to check it out. But if you really want to find out how your democracy is working here in LA County, come on down to the Register Recorder County Clerk here in Norwalk. Sign up for a shift poll watching with Lauren Steiner on Ballots for Bernie, I think, .org, I believe is the website. I'll tweet that out as soon as I confirm. But you can sign up to come down and do a shift, or you can just come down on your own and do it. You just got to register, sign in. They give you a little badge. You go upstairs. They'll take you on a tour, tell you all about it, everything that's happening, and it's a pretty cool process. I enjoyed it. Glad I did it.
It was cool.
Felt good. Felt better about the whole thing. And we're flipping counties. 4. I think we're at 4, right?
Yeah.
And you can watch that at lavote.net. So go check that out. All right, guys. Peace. Talk to you soon.